Hey everyone, I have a little bit of a dodgy setup here, so excuse the poor audio because I'm traveling now. So I thought about this content and how am I gonna record it. So it's just a really simple setup today. I found these headphones from the wardrobe, so I'm just gonna go ahead and create this. I think I'll hide my face now that I look a bit wonky in this webcam anyway. But let's get on to today's story. And in today's episode, what's the difference between JMB and MC? So I know a lot of you are familiar with, if you live in a condo, which is a vertical strata, or for example, landed terrace houses or semi-Ds that is under a horizontal strata, under the Strata Management Act, then you would have been very familiar with paying maintenance fees to the management. But the management actually goes through several phases, like evolution, like Pokemon, Pikachu, and then Raichu, if you're at my age. Yeah, and I'm recording this video because I think it's quite important, especially if you're looking to shop for a property that is a sub-sale property that's a little bit older. So for any reason, for example, you want to stay in that condo that's close to your parents' house and the price is reasonable, so you're thinking of buying that condo, this is for you to know. Okay? But nevertheless, let's go through it so that everyone is familiar with what the terms are under the Strata Management Act. So JMB stands for Joint Management Board. MC stands for Management Corporation. All right? And JMB has to be changed to MC eventually. So for any building, the management, they cannot stay forever as a JMB. Eventually, it's just good practice to change to an MC because the management corporation ultimately has more legal powers to act on behalf of all the residents that stays there. So for example, any procurement contracts under the JMB cannot exceed 12 months. So for example, if you were to hire cleaners, people who maintain the buildings, the contract cannot exceed 12 months. Whereas under the MC, they have the right to negotiate longer terms, which means lower rate, which likely could mean lower monthly maintenance fees, for example. But of course, they also have the right as MC to increase the maintenance fees as they see fit to maintain the property. Now let's go through the roles and responsibilities. These are the primary ones, but let's just go through it slowly. One, maintaining an appropriate register of all owners. So, who are the owners, what units do they have. Number two, maintain and manage the common shared area. So this is very important to keep the place very clean, very zen. Third, ensuring financial transparency and maintenance of accounts. So don't get me wrong, JMB, they still have the obligation to do this. It's not like, they're not super legit. They do half the work. No, it's not like that. Then the fourth one, compliance and enforcement of bylaws, rules, and or building regulations and notices enforced by local authorities. So for example, any disagreement between neighbors, whether the property can rent out as an Airbnb or not, what's the policy for visitors, what's the policy for like parking. These are all like very common things that really add up. Okay, let's go back to number 5. The property is insured and protected, so this is a requirement as well. Finally, number 6, billing and collection of management fees. So this is what all the residents have to pay. Next. Okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit and go through the process of JMB to eventually forming an MC. So this is a little simplified chart. The developer will develop, let's say, the condo or the high rise. And after that, during completion, they will declare a VP once they pass all the inspection and the certification. We call it the CCC lah. Okay? And once they declare or once they inform the owners that, okay, now your unit is ready for collection. Now, if 25% of the units are already passed on to the owners, and then the developer, together with these residents, are obligated to form a JMB within 12 months of the VP. So then, JMB is like, how to say, it's like a friendship, it's like a partnership per se. So that they will start to get things in motion. Now, after that, when things start to stabilize, the residents, or for example, the occupants or the proprietors in this building under the JMB will have their first AGM. And then they can convert from JMB to MC. And once this building is under an MC, the JMB have to then dissolve within 3 months of the new MC forming. Okay, so this is the stage where things are becoming more permanent. There are defined roles of who does what. The AGM is annual, is being minuted. Things are accounted for. And then after that, what the MC can decide to do, for example, if it's a huge development, for example, a mixed development, there is an office, the commercial side, and there's a residential side, they can actually split the MCs into two. So for example, the commercial side, they may pay more in maintenance fee. The residential side, they may pay less. But for most residential condos or regular high-rises, there's only one MC. So I hope you understand this flow. Okay? Now to the important part. Why should I care? Okay, let me go through why. Now, if you're interested to buy a sub-sale property and then you go and view your unit with, for example, an agent, very likely they will tell you all the nice things about the property and the surrounding area, which is great, by the way. It's good to know. And then they'll take you to your unit. And then you see the unit, you like the breeze, you like everything. But that is just a snapshot of that day when you're there. But if you were to buy the property and stay there, to get the full picture or a better understanding of what's it like living there day to day, first thing you do is walk around the external area, especially if it's an older building. Why? Because you want to see what is the condition of the property. Is it well maintained or not? That's one of like the first triggers that you should check out for, not just how nice your unit is, because how nice your unit is within your control, but externally it's under the MC's control. So if they're doing a good job, then okay, maybe it's a good place to stay. But if you want to take it a little bit further, you can then look or go to the management building and ask who are the committee members in the MC. You can also ask your direct neighbor, what's it like? What's the monthly maintenance like? How is the place governed? Are they generally happy with the place? And if all this check and you really like the unit that you've looked at, then I think, okay, all boxes checked and loans are all okay, then go ahead and buy it. But for some reason, if this building has a history of terrible water leaks, poor maintenance, or poor financial records, or if it's published on the papers as legal cases, even though you really, really like the unit, I suggest think twice and probably ask around, weigh your options, or look at other places nearby. So I hope you learned a thing or two from this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe and check out homeownership.com.my for more. See you in the next episode.